Hello, Mara, welcome. Right, I think the audio is okay on this one. I kept the settings the same as last time, but if it's not, do let me know. Endurus5Andy says, "Is that you, Hellfreezer? I've actually hired an impersonator for the evening. I have the real Hellfreezer tied up in the corner. He's fine, though. Oh, you mean in the picture? No, that's my father. Don't be rude. I will cut you." No, I was maybe about 3 or something at the time this picture was taken. This is my dad. Maybe he may actually have been about the same age I was at the time. The same age I am now, actually. Oh, I think Hellfreezer's had enough food. He could do with a bit of starvation, to be perfectly honest with you. Texas T, how is the temperature where you're at? It's boiling 100 degrees here. It's not too bad. I'm not sure the exact temperature. There's my phone. 13 degrees centigrade according to my phone, so it's not too bad. A bit cooler than it has been. Aqua Blue, do a face reveal. I did a face reveal last stream. It was an old one, but still. Hunter, no, we just started a few minutes ago. Just been going about 3 minutes. Sarah Mark, lucky you have Photoshop. Well, you need something decent doing what I do. A lot of the edits I make are quite quick, but some of them are quite a bit more detailed. Right, so anyway, I'm going to be restoring this picture of my father. Not too bad. I'm going to adjust the levels and everything. I think it was a fairly bright day, just going by the light on the clouds and everything in the back. So I'm going to try and fix the exposure a little bit and get rid of all these little white spots. Maria, I'm 36. I'm guessing that picture was a baby pic. I'll show you again if I can find it. That's the picture I showed last time. There's a face reveal. I've barely changed since then. Christina Marie, no live stories. I may at some point in the future do live poetry readings, but I'm not going to do full stories. There's another cute little pic of me with my broken Mickey Mouse toy. Not red hair, blonde hair it was. Sarah Mark, I'm about to turn 23. Ah, you are but a child. Move this tablet, find a more comfy place to put you all. Right, I've currently got you all resting on my lap. I hope that's alright. Well, you must. For your information, Scott, the bike is fully functioning again. In fact, in some ways, it's better than it was before. And as for the broken toy, I'm going to assume someone else broke it. Allegedly. Kathy Edwards, do any of the paranormal stories bother you or keep you up at night? Honestly, no. I do occasionally get creeped out while reading them, though. Especially when I was doing Black Eyed Kids stories. And I heard what I've now decided, for the sake of my own sanity, was a fox crying in the distance, but I didn't know that at the time. Aqua Blue, so pissed I missed that face reveal. You missed it again because I just showed the same picture a few minutes ago. Immunity Zero, have you ever been interested in voice acting? I'm definitely interested. I'll have to get off my tuchus and try and get an agent representation, because they're not just going to come to me. Army Crab, greetings from Iraq, Hellfreezer. 3 more months and I'm home. I love that I have people all over the world watching me. Paddy H, do you believe in ghosts? I keep an open mind. I certainly hope that this isn't all there is. Mara asks, how's the bike? The bike is currently sleeping in the corner of the living room, because I've got nowhere else to put it. It's currently in a good state of repair. I was out on it earlier, actually. I've had a very productive day today. I managed to get 2 videos. I managed to get 2 videos made. Then I did a little bit of shopping, took the bike out, and then I managed to fix the broken lens on my phone camera. So, busy day all round. And I thought I'd try this. Sarah Lee Bishop, Hellfreezer, then it's just blank. That's weird. What do you think about the glitch phenomena? Well, I think there's always been things like that. It's just since those Glitch in the Matrix movies come out, we've had a more identifiable term to apply to it, but weird things have always happened. I'm sure some of them have very rational explanations. Others, I think it would be arrogant to assume that everything can be explained. Morgan, you're not late. We've only been going for about 8 minutes. Hey, Army Crab, hey Hellfreezer, will you ever do military ghost and horror story series? I've looked into that. I've also looked into doing like law enforcement stories, and I had trouble finding enough to do like a regular series. So just whenever I'm looking for stories for various things, be it paranormal or whatever else, the revenge stories, I found quite a few of those. They're military related. I will try and get them because they always turn out to be quite interesting. By all means, if you have any stories you'd like to contribute, kingofthecities@gmail.com. Meow meow, heya, hiya. Okay, a bit of shipping. I'm really going to have to hire an assistant to read questions out for me. Maybe I could con my niece or my nephew into doing it. Did your store ever restock the Watermelon Rockstar? No, they didn't, alas. What I'm currently drinking, I've nearly finished it, it's sours, it's Rockstar Sours, and it's bubblegum flavour. But I just can't get the watermelon one at all, locally. It was Watermelon Freeze. There is another one they do, this watermelon, but it's watermelon that's like 0 sugar, and that would just give me a headache, which I don't need help with at the moment. Hellfreezer is buffering? I am not, how dare you? Not that you can see anyway. Sorry, Mark, Amazon Prime. I've looked on Amazon Prime, but the few places that have it, they're double the price. And I love it, but I'm also cheap, and I'm not willing to pay more than £1 a can. Army Crab, thanks for being awesome, Hellfreezer. Me and my barrack buddies love listening to you after a long, stressful day of work. Hellfreezer joins the army. Now that would be a special. It'd be a quick special. Hellfreezer shoots himself in the foot, was most likely what it would be. He didn't even have a gun. How did he manage that? Please narrate with Dr. Creepin. I don't know who Dr. Creepin is, but I don't do a lot of collaborations. I've actually got 2 in the pipeline. I'm just waiting on people having time to finish their parts up. I'm doing one with Insomniac and one with Imori Star. I finally got my finger out and finished off the Imori Star one. I kept the poor woman waiting way too long. Regina, you again? Well, if that's how you feel, how do you kick someone out of this? When Hellfreezer rides his bike, I imagine it's like a Benny Hill skit. No, it's more like Easy Rider with more pedaling. This picture is in Edinburgh. You can see my dad's wearing an... Oh, there you go, I can give you the exact date. Edinburgh Fringe Festival 1978. So, I'm not sure if this was from 78 or if it was from a little bit after. If it was from 78, then I haven't been born yet. I wasn't born until 1981. Say hi back, please. Yes, hi, Regina. I see you've brought your rather fine shoulder again. Excellent. Okay, start with the spot healing brush. See how that does. I somehow hit F11, didn't I? Nope, no idea what I did there. Whatever, doesn't matter. Optical Arsenal, hey Hellfreezer, you a cat or a dog person or both? Both, but from afar. Although cats seem to really like my house. I don't know what it is, but they keep trying to sneak in. I've had to chase more than a few of the little fluffy off. I had one the other day. I was sitting in the living room. They're getting brave. It's one I was just came in the door. I didn't hear it at first. Then I just see movement out the corner of my eye, and I nearly pooped myself. And I see the little cat. I'm like, hey you, and it darts out the. It gives me a look briefly like, oh, I done goofed. Then it darts out of the house quickly. The catalogue. How about fish? I have a fish tank. It was actually my father's fish tank. The fish all died off years ago. I did keep it going for a number of years after he passed, but when the fish died, I just scooped them all out and drained the tank. I keep meaning to give it a good thorough clean out, get rid of all the gravel and put fresh stuff in. I'll get to it one day, because it does look nice when it's all filled up. I know I didn't see the military tattoo. Metalik, what do you think about tattoos? Do you maybe have some yourself? I think they're cool, but I'm not willing to make that much of a commitment to something on my body, especially when your skin's as bad as mine is. Sarah Lee Bishop, no. Carly, on your list of Scottish people who are allowed to say that the Scots are grumpy, is Frankie Boyle on that list? Yeah, Frankie Boyle is in charge of drinks and refreshments. Christina Marie, you eat a lot of pies. I eat a reasonable amount of pies. I do my part. Right. Hang on. I've done something. On that. I've somehow gone full screen. There we go. That's what we're trying to do. Right, I'll get rid of these little white spots and that nasty looking scratch. Then I'll set about adjusting the colours and everything, trying to brighten things up. Someone just pointed out I misspelled my own name. I think I can change that. Well, it's hard to do on a tablet. Right, that should be okay. Hunter, I heard something in the background. Oh, sorry, I forgot to close the door again. That'll be the ticking of the clock in the kitchen. Optical Arsenal, gotta go now. Thanks for stopping in, Optical, appreciate that. Sleep well. Malik, do you often get compliments on your voice? Since I started doing this, yes. Regina, yes, that is my dad. Yeah, there's currently two cats. There's a black and white one. That's the most persistent, but there's also a ginger one as well. User not found, just E. That's odd. Pasquale Leibowitz. Well, I accidentally clicked on the notification while I was trying to reply to my grandma. Well, your grandma will be quite confused. And I'm assuming she's a Slayer fan? Yeah, the one from the other day was my mum as well. One happy world. Hellfreezer is very shy. Well, I just like to keep certain things private. Unless you happen to be a very attractive young lady, because I did totally tell the girl that served me in the supermarket a couple of weeks back when she asked me what I did for a living. How I look? Well, I look a bit like this, except balding, no glasses, and clean shaven, but with sideburns. Have you ever seen YouTube horror series Local 58? No, I haven't. If it's a newer one, I probably haven't seen it. I don't watch a lot of horror stuff. Well, not anymore. I used to quite a bit, but since I started doing my own, I just don't. Shawsy82, we're listening on the car radio with my other half's phone, so I'm commenting with mine. I appreciate the dedication. Just make sure you're paying attention to the road. I'm assuming you're not driving. User not found. What do you think about the USA? I like America. I don't especially care for your current government, but I'd very much like to go there one day. Uh, Good night, Aqua Blue. Have fun. Make sure you don't go anywhere you shouldn't, and be safe. Silver Sterling. God, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope we can get that sorted out. I'll be on for a little while yet, though, if you want to come back. Georgie. Okay, can you guys hear me again? The streams seem to disappear there. Yeah, I think we're back. I think we're okay. Right. So early Bishop, we could be best friends and watch Judge Judy. No, she frightens me. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but it seemed just to be a little bit of a glitch. Hopefully it doesn't mess the stream up. The one the other night, I had to delete it. Well, I had to download the archive version and then re-upload that, which meant I lost all the chat. Because for some reason the first half hour was missing. But it was in the version I downloaded, so I don't know what the issue was. When do we see a picture of you, Hellfreezer? Never say never, but I'm not currently planning on it. I would like to one day, maybe when I'm feeling a bit more confident in myself, nearly there, maybe actually doing some filmed things in front of a camera. But I'll need to get a decent DSLR before I think about that. But certainly not in the near future. The idea is to basically just keep expanding the channel, change the content when it needs to be changed, and build it into something that'll last. Wanda Bell. Hello, Lawanda. Katrina Ellis. Hi, Katrina. Thanks for the love. Appreciate it. Carly, you said you were working on a Sherlock Holmes script. Is it a Conan Doyle version or an original idea? Well, what I'm working on is called The Doctor and the Detective. It's going to be a basically Sherlock Holmes versus Jekyll and Hyde. I already know how it's going to end. I just need to write the in-between parts. I've written the start. What I might actually do is, if there's any interest in it, as I might do a productivity stream like this, where I actually write, and you guys keep yelling at me to make me do it. If there's any interest, I'll try that at some point. Not today, though. It's only got to be about 20 minutes. Maybe 30 minutes. And if YouTube wants to give me a little bit of that YouTube Red money to make an actual live action version, then, well, go ahead. I'll hire Matt Smith, and he can be my Sherlock Holmes, and everybody will be happy. Patricia, thank you. That's very nice of you. Pink Penguin? Yeah, that's my dad. Right, a little bit in the corner there. You know, I'm half tempted to adjust the angle on this, but I think that's actually the angle it's meant to be. I might actually rescan the original at some point. Scoobies Doo, hello Scoobies Doo. Scooby Doo, doo 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 doo. When is your bidet? I don't have a bidet, just a regular toilet. I'm not fancy like that. Drop the chat. Comfy again. And I seem to have pressed the button and the chat's disappeared. Load that up again. Come on. Regina, you must have seen me the other day. You mentioned an attractive young lady. Unless you work in my local Morrison's, I don't think so. And are also Scottish. Brutally honest. Hellfreezer's been telling stories all night. This is just a little bit of chill out. I just got done making 2 videos. When is your birthday? My birthday is on the 19th of September. Right, let's actually do that. And apply filter, dust and scratches. Yeah, that'll actually do just a little bit. There we go. Regina, you a Virgo? Yep. Diamond Dragon, thank you very much. Again, I'm wearing my headphones. I don't know why. I just turned them off. It's a waste of battery power. Texas T. I know which video was it. I'll go look for it later. There was an old channel that ripped me off ages ago, but that got shut down, I think. Right, let's flatten that down, then we'll start making... I'll play about with the levels a little bit. Nato Fee, where do you live? I live in central Scotland. DJ Piff, when is your next Beard in the Wild video? I'm not sure. I've got a couple saved, but I'll have to track down some more stories, I think. The Doctor, thank you kindly. Sasha, thank you very much. Yay Cake, just write your story down as best you can. Be as detailed as you can and as honest. And send the story to me. I mean, if it's similar to stuff I've used recently, then I might not use it right away, but it will be used. Diamond Dragon, would you be able to do hospital worker stories? I tried to put together nursing stories because I thought, well, nurses will have some really interesting stories, but I just couldn't find them. I think I got one story. Sarah Lee, bye bye Sarah Lee, behave yourself. The Hunter, thank you. I appreciate you out there recruiting for me. I'll remember you when the revolution comes. Enduros 5 Endy. Hellfreezer will use your stories like he uses my heart. So, sliced into strips, cooked with a little oil and oregano. Right, I think there's too much blue or maybe green in this. Let's see what we can do. Well, that definitely helps. Caitlin Govern, I love your accent. Where are you from? I'm from Scotland. I didn't forget, my mind just went blank. Let's see about the green channel. Ooh, that's a bit... Right. Well, that's definitely an improvement. What's that thing under your dad's arm? On the right side? I'm not sure. I think that's my sister, actually. Yeah, if that's a ribbon or a bow or something, I think that's my sister. Do you look more like your mom or your dad? Pink Penguin asks. I look a lot more like my dad's side of the family. My sister looks a little bit more like my mum's. And 5 Andy is Nessie. I'll tell her you said that, and she will kick your arse. Railroad conductor story, that would be appreciated. That sounds interesting. Right, I'll get the burn tool and manually darken those trousers. You can't deny it there, mate. It's documented. You can check back in the stream. No, that's not really gonna work. Maybe if... Let's try masking it. Itowit Fee, do you have more Glitch in the Matrix stories lined up? I'm planning on doing one this week. I don't know how many I've got saved though. I'll probably either later tonight or tomorrow. I shall probably wait till tomorrow. I'm going to take the rest of the night and just relax. I'll put out some feelers and try and get some more stories. Right, let's paint this. Darken those trousers. Come on. lot of my Photoshop work is basically, well, let's just try this and see how it turns out. Maybe a little too much. Lower the opacity on the layer. There we go. Hellfreezer, do you have OCD? I'd never go so far as to say that I have OCD. I've never been diagnosed. But it wouldn't surprise me. I don't really think there's much more I can do to this one, so I might go in search of another image soon. Right, flatten, save changes, yes, okay. And let's have a look for another image. It's a little blurry. Scoobies do, don't hate me. I don't hate you. I'm not very fond of your nephew, though. What kind of music do you listen to, Hellfreezer? Listen to a bit of everything. What would I'm not going to play anything because copyright. But let's have a look at the most recent ones I've added. Some Kate McGill. Oh, her mum passed away recently. That was really sad. Mary Spender. I love Matchbox 20. That, of course, is my theme tune right there. Right said Fred, I'm too sexy. And this one here. Have you seen those ads about that woman, rather pretty red-headed lady, singing? Eventually, it just played in so many videos it wore me down and I had to just buy the single. But yeah, it makes everything. Elvis, Flicker Stick. Remember them from Bands on the Run? Natalie Imbruglia, R.E.M., Stereophonics, The Who, Bryan Adams, Frank Sinatra, just, a bit of everything. Raven Fox, do you like cats? Yes, but I couldn't get a whole one. Actually, there was one in here that needs a little bit of work. I was having trouble. Brilliant. Hellfreezer, do you lift? I used to. I'm trying to get back into it. I've got my weights and a punch bag and a bench upstairs. I just need to get back into doing it. Pasquale Leibowitz, welcome back. Oh, this one needs quite a bit of work. Maybe save that for another time. Scroll past some of these quickly because some of them... I mean, I'm allowed to use these ones. Well, my sister said it was okay. That's her kids. But some of them have got my uncle in it in them actually. Let's clean this one up a little bit. This is me. So open with Photoshop. Jar full of painkillers. Oh, bless you. You think I'm 30. No, I'm 36. $37 in a few weeks. I want cake. Chocolate cake with mint frosting. Hello, Austin. Welcome. I'm still quite cute. God, that sofa's a mess. I think some of that's just damage to the picture. Alright. The old spot healing brush. I'm sorry, but so far we haven't come across anything that requires anything too fancy. Just basic cleanup on most of them, but I think there might be one or two that need things. Hellfreezer, you're making me hungry. Okay. I'm remarkably well preserved. Yeah, I actually thought it was damage to the sofa. It's damage to the picture. I don't remember that carpet. Oh wait, I do. Yeah, I don't think it's actually meant to be green. I think it's just because the picture's old. There's 5 ending. I poop on the sofa all the time. I can believe that about you. As a dark-haired person, well, my hair got darker as I got older. It was kind of blonde here. It's more kind of dark brown now. Well, darkish brown. How's your health? I know I've had a headache for over a week, but yeah, I can live with it if I have to. I'm sure it'll go away eventually. Dragon, do you have a favourite creepypasta story? Yeah, my favourite one's actually Abandoned by Disney. There's a reading of it somewhere on my channel. Also, that video isn't monetized because the author, Slime Beast, he used to, I don't know if he's still okay with it, but he used to be okay with people narrating the stuff he'd written as long as it wasn't monetized. So I liked the story and I wanted to do it, so I just respected the author's wishes. Hellfreezer is such a daddy. I'd have to meet your mother to be sure. Well, I hope you're feeling better soon, Lani. You're out of hospital now, I hope? I've got some Anadin in the kitchen. I'll go grab a couple in a little while. Let's not start diagnosing Hellfreezer. I worry about my health enough as it is. I'm sure it's all probably acid reflux related or something. Lilani, okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. Goodbye, jar full of painkillers. Goodbye, Morgan. Right, let's see if we can get rid of some of the green on this picture. Is it just you and your sis? It's just the two of us. Deborah Young, do you have a lot of historical areas where you live, like old castles and such? Not where I live, no. My town's relatively modern. Or at least over the years, it stays relatively modern. Luanda, bye Luanda, enjoy dinner. Let's try this first. Oh, that makes a massive difference. Oh, look, and the carpet's no longer green. What region are you from? I'm from central Scotland. No, that's not shag carpet. That's... I don't even know what you'd call that. It was kind of brown, I remember. But it wasn't very thick. I think that one's okay. Well, maybe it's a little bit too bright in some areas. I think that'll do it. What the shirt says on screen, it doesn't say anything. It's just a little sailboat and the sun. A rare picture of me wearing something that isn't black. Fun with failure. Right, take care. Fun with failure. Bye bye. Thanks for stopping in, Austin Trueblood. Take care. Right, what's up next? Yeah, that could just about work. Regina, I literally don't have any recent pictures of me. Yeah, I don't know what's with me in this picture, but I don't look happy. I clearly didn't enjoy having my photo taken even then. The hunters, so when you're done with all the picks, how many, I don't know how many you have, what do you plan to do? I'm gonna, once I've got them all scanned, I haven't even scanned them all yet, but once they're all scanned and repaired and restored, a couple will be colorized just because I think they'll look good that way. I'm gonna put a copy of it on a thumb drive for my sister, so she's got a copy of them as well, and I'll keep a copy on my computer, and the rest will be stored away safely. I don't really think that one needs too much more. A lot of these really just need a quick going over. Do you think it's normal for my canary to pick a fight with my cat? You should tell your canary to not pick fights that it can't win. Have you tried GIMP to edit pics? Paulina Sabina says. No, I've never used GIMP. I've always been more Photoshop. I'm not even sure if I could say one's better than the other. I think it's just whatever you're familiar with. Wait free. What kind of movies do you enjoy? It depends what I'm in the mood for. Mostly I go for horror, sci-fi. Well, certain horrors. I'm not into like things like Hostel. I don't really enjoy that sort of thing. And decent comedies. Lil D Beats, can you please do more time travel? Have I ever done any time travel stories? I'm not sure if I have. But if I find any, I'll certainly try and get them. But anyway, movies, yeah, and every now and again I'll go on a kick where I want to watch things about films, but not necessarily the films themselves. Like, I spent a lot of last night watching little retrospectives and overviews on the Terminator franchise. Then I was sitting there earlier thinking, do I have that on DVD? And it turns out I've got like 2 or 3 copies of it on VHS. And then at the back of a drawer I did find the Terminator collection, which is actually only the first 2 films. Edward Free, have you seen Southbound? I started to watch it, then I turned it off. Not because I didn't like it, it's just, well, I'll wait till I'm in a better mood for it. I think it's up on Amazon Prime, so I might give it a shot one day. The review I watched of it said it was okay in parts, depending on the section of it. How about Attack the Block? I haven't actually seen Attack the Block. Alright, there was one that does need quite a bit of work. Let's see if I can find that and load it up. I fixed most of the damage, but I just can't quite get it to look right. I think it's that. No, it's not that one. Let's give that the once over anyway. Goodbye, Diamond Dragon. Thanks for stopping in. Good night, Raven. Where did I put that cat? Ah, there it is. Endurance 5 Endy. I see you, Scott. I see you. Pasquale, what time is it where you are? It currently is 25 minutes past 11 at night. No, it's definitely 25 in my clock. Where was that one? That must be up here. after there. I'm looking for a certain picture, but it seems to be eluding me. Tiny green turtles. Are these pictures that you restore for people? These are family pictures, but I do sometimes go on Reddit to find ones that other people's are, but I wouldn't do them on stream unless I had permission. Thank you very much, James. Appreciate it. I'm sure that picture's in here. Where did I put the bloody thing? I was literally looking at it earlier thinking, I think I might need to do a manual recolor on that one. Is this a hobby of yours? It is, yeah. Also, the skills I learn here are things that, if I need to, I can kind of translate them into editing pictures for my videos, but mostly it's a hobby. That's me during my, well, I thought I looked like James Bond, but looking at it now, I look a bit like Donald Trump with that red tie and everything, don't I? That's unfortunate. There it is. I start to think a gremlin has snuck in and deleted it. Thanks, Patty. I appreciate that. The Black Lab. Either Gizmo or Bono. They're two different dogs. The one without the head. Well, that was a picture taken by my mother. She had a remarkable capacity for taking pictures of people but cutting heads off. I think that was a picture of the dog Bono. That was my sister's dog a few years back. And the one in the snow, if you were talking about, I think he's actually a lab collie cross, so is the other one. That's Gizmo. That's my sister's current dog. A lazy little pooper. Okay. So let's try. Firstly, make a copy of it. Sometimes forget to do that. Black and white. And that might actually help. Right, I'm going to try adding colour to it manually and see what that does. You notice most here are ladies. It's kind of hard to tell from a lot of these screen names. It's just more you to love them. No, I was looking at my analytics the other day and think the audience is slightly, I think about 10% or something currently more on the side of women than there's about 40% men. It kind of fluctuates back and forth, it just depends. Lilana, I love black labs. My ex had one named Max. Always had a special place in my heart. He would jump on the bed and cuddle me and look away and nudge away tears. He was 14 when he passed on. Pink penguin is a lady, yes, but you're also a penguin. Right, a bit of colour I think now. Right, I'll merge that down to that layer, but I'll keep that one here for reference. Down. Right, and I'll just try eyeballing the colours at first until I get the skin tones. Mad Honeybee. Thank you kindly, Mad Honeybee. Layer. Color. Start with that one. We Scottish people are rather pale, so I don't want things to look too ruddy. Helps if I use a brush. Deborah Young, I love your narration. Feels like I'm hearing an old friend. Thank you kindly, Deborah, and I appreciate the donation. Penguins will trade sexual favors for pebbles. Oh. Some humans will do that too. Well, not pebbles, you know. My tummy's rumbling. I must need to get something to eat. Oh, that's not the finished skin tone. That's probably, cause it's going to be paler than that when I'm done. But I usually like to start as close as I can. I mean, if you look at the actual original image, it's not too bad, but it's too purpley. There's a lot of lack of balance because the picture was kind of damaged, creased and things like that. So I've repaired as much as I can. So I think manually adding color should help. Good night, the Doctor. Looking forward to seeing you later in the year when you become a lady. I've always enjoyed Doctor Who, but this will be the first time I've actually had a crush on the Doctor. Because Jodie Whittaker, pretty damn cute. I don't want to go. Well, tough, you have to. Now hurry up and regenerate, so we can all meet Matt Smith. I've actually liked all the Doctors. I don't think I've found one that I haven't liked. I've got my favourites. Going from Classic Who, of course, it's Tom Baker, I guess. He's probably my absolute favourite from Classic Who. Although the one I grew up with, well, I say grew up with, but the one I remember in the 80s was the most was Sylvester McCoy. But I've really liked them all. And I really, although I was a bit uncertain about Peter at first, I thought he was okay, but a bit too grumpy. I thought from it, after his first series, his second and third series, he really found who he wanted the character to be, I think. And I really enjoyed his performance. I'm gonna miss him, but no, I'm sure I'll move on, as I always do. David Tennant he does seem genuinely nice. I'm quite looking forward to him in Good Omens. Actually, it'll be out sometime next year, sometime in 2019. I'm not sure exactly when though. Touchwood. I really enjoyed Torchwood. Actually, I didn't like the last series though, and I love John Barrowman. I really do. I adore that man. Although I think he can get a bit too. He really appreciates his fans, and I think occasionally that can make him rude when he's dealing with people at conventions and that. There was one time, you might be able to find the video on YouTube. He was doing an appearance, and you get like a certain amount of time, and then you have to get off the stage because another performer is going to go on and talk to their fans. And he said, "I do an hour." And he said, "Well, you've got like 50 minutes or however long it was." And he said, "Well, I always do an hour." I was like, "Well, yeah, you got 50 minutes." So they tried to get him off stage after the 50 minutes, and he got very shouty with the volunteers, which I love the man. I didn't like it when he did that. Well, Barrowman's great. I mean, he definitely goes above and beyond for his fans. Unlike, well, I'm not going to start calling celebrities out. They don't treat their fans well. But there are certain people that when you look at photo ops with their fans, you can tell, you're just there for the money. Whereas John Barrowman's basically there so he can touch people up and hug them and things mostly. If you want a silly picture where he's holding you or burning his cheeks, all 4 of them, he'll definitely do that. I think there's a... Oh, that's going to be difficult to colour. There's a gold chain there. I'm going to have to get really, really zoomed in to do that. But we'll leave that to last, I think. Yeah, I think that's helping. Sarah Jane Adventures was great too. I don't think I've... No, I never actually watched that. Rochelle, no, you're definitely right, Rochelle. Time just seems to accelerate the older you get. I mean, here we are, nearing the end of August, getting there. I mean, we're at what now? The 27th. And it feels like the year's just began. American Gods. I'm a bit. I'm certainly going to watch season 2 of American Gods, but I'm a bit wary with the sudden change in showrunner. I mean, it's not surprising that Brian Fuller left yet another project, but I had quite enjoyed the work he'd done on it. Still, Neil Gaiman's still involved with it, so I don't think he's going to let them screw it up. Back to the brush. Yeah, try. That's not right. Try that one. I'm trying to paint the wrong sodden layer. That's what's happening here. I should have started a new one. There we go. Silly Hellfreezer. What were you thinking? Good evening, Amanda. Regina, my love is never going to give me love back. Well, I care for you quite a bit, Regina. I love all my subscribers. But yeah, you probably should go back to work, because got to pay that rent. Hellfreezer, if you were a Spice Girl, who would you be? Sporty Spice, because she's the only one I still fancy. Hey, Blue Rooster, how you doing? My wife calls you Grumper Freeze. Well, I'll have to stop grumbering then. No, I'm doing pretty well, Amanda. Just pretty tired after a day's work, and I thought this would be a good way to chill out. And so far, it has been. I was going to be doing this anyway, so I figured I may as well just hit that stream button and set my microphone up while I do it. There we go. Happy with where they are right now, so I'm going to merge those color layers. Actually, no, I'm not going to merge them, I'll leave them as they are. But I'll start in on the rest of the faces. So let's do my sister's face first. Angela Lycos 2.0, hello, I have to know, is it hard not to laugh at some of your funny recordings? No, sometimes I have to stop recording and compose myself before I can continue on. Right, there's the brush, and that one there. This is my older sister, but she looks so much like my niece in this picture. Goodbye, Scooby's Do. Thanks for stopping in. Yay cake, Hellfreezer, do you have any other stream ideas? Well, I was thinking of doing, as I mentioned, the writing thing. Maybe a good way to get myself motivated to finish it. And I could do some poetry readings. I don't want to do full stories. The whole point, for me at least for streams, is it's something I can do kind of impromptu, without any rehearsal. And poems would be good for that, I think. But I'm not sure what else. I mean, I guess I could try gaming, but you run into copyright issues with that, depending on the game. Pink penguin must go feed the husband. Alright, have a good night, penguin. Diamond Dragon, have you done any stalker stories? Yeah, loads of them. They feature quite frequently in the Let's Not Meet videos. Well, the Let's Not Meet, the True Scary Stories, and sometimes in the subscriber videos. Make the baby green, the baby's me, behave yourself. Good night, Hunter. Our Scottish Mr. Freezer, yes indeed I am. Tiny green turtles. Well, the way I'm doing it here is probably quite confusing with the layers, but usually, just every time you start a new layer, just give it a name relevant to what you're doing, and it helps you keep things organized. I tend to do most of my colorizations in one session, so it's generally easy for me to keep track of it. Nipple tally. This is Photoshop. I think it's up to date, or it's maybe 1 or 2 updates out. But it's the Creative Cloud version, so it should be relatively current. It's always telling me you've got an update. There's the thing there. There'll be updates waiting to be installed. It's the kind of thing you've got to practice with it. Like I say, there's colorization requests on Reddit. People, if you need images to practice with, people will post pictures there asking for, well, some of it's paid work, but others are free. Most of them are free, actually. And you can take those pictures, you can practice, and if you're happy with the results, you can post it, and they might say thank you. And that's what I did when I was kind of learning. Good machines, hello! How do you pronounce Celtic? Depends on the context. If you're talking about the football team, it's Celtic. Other uses, it would be Celtic. Yeah, this is me. That's my older sister. And that's my mother. And I've actually just realised I forgot to colour her arm in. Put on that layer. And I'll do that just now. John Fortman, howdy Hellfreezer, if you read poetry, could you consider a Canadian classic, The Cremation of Sam McGee? You know, there are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who toil for gold. Or moil for gold, I think it's meant to be toil. It'll depend on the copyright status of it. If it's out of copyright, then yep, I can definitely do it. If you're requesting, I'll do it. If it's currently still under copyright, it's probably not going to happen. Good night, Scott. Oh, if you're talking about the group, it's Celtic. And there's Fivenday, love you, bro. I have similar feelings regarding you. What other hand? And I'm not sure what colour it is underneath there. maybe pale blue. I think that's the outfit I'm wearing. I think April meant the hand on the other side of my arm. I think that's what. On the right. All right, yeah, right in shadow there. That's what you meant. Yeah, I would have forgotten that. Yeah, right here. I would actually definitely have forgotten that because it's in shadow. I wouldn't have noticed. See, it is helpful having people watch over you while you're doing these things. Okay. Oh, I forgot to do my sister's eyes. Praise Dura, thank you, Praise Dura. Insidious, have I seen that one? You know, I don't think I actually have seen Insidious. I think that's all the skin tones. Well, all the basic skin tones. I'll have to add some contrast and all to it. Is anybody looking forward to the new Halloween film? It's not usually something I'm into. I'm more of a Friday the 13th guy, usually. Which reminds me, if you've never seen it, there's a great short film. It's here on YouTube. It's called Never Hike Alone. It's a Friday the 13th fan film, but it's kind of at professional level in terms of quality. It's about 50 odd minutes. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it. It's one of the best Friday the 13th installments I've seen. So good that whenever they do a next film, I hope they do something similar to that. Or even just get that team involved. Even the Jason was quite good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the new Halloween film, which is not something I'm usually into, but I'm kind of intrigued by the idea of a 60-year-old slasher running around. And from what I understand, it's basically just a sequel to the first film, which is kind of an interesting tack to take. I mean, that being said, I haven't seen the last few. I did watch the first Rob Zombie one, and it was fine, but I'm not a massive Rob Zombie fan in terms of his filmmaking. Let's check the original. That's not the one I'm looking for. Oh yeah, that is kind of blue, that thing. In fact, I could probably leave it uncoloured, it's so pale. Right, want a little variance, so we'll create another layer just there. And have you seen Mama? I saw the short film. I haven't seen the actual full release. The duck's good night. Get some rest. Sleep well. Good night, Michelle. I tend to find a lot of trouble finding horror films I want. I mean, I love horror films, but finding ones I want to see, because a lot of the time I'll start them, and it's easy to do that if you with Netflix, because it's not that you have to. Not like you say to yourself, "Well, I've already spent the money. I may as well watch it, see if I can get some enjoyment out of it." I'll start them and I'll think, this is terrible, or it's the same old cliched nonsense, or these people aren't very good performers, and so I end up turning it off. Mad Honey B, what was your very first horror movie, book, and TV show? First horror movie, I can't remember. I remember the first one that actually scared me. It was a trailer for Dawn of the Dead. I was sitting watching I'm not sure what the film was, but it was a trailer on this VHS tape for Dawn of the Dead, and it terrified me. But it's actually one of my favourite films now. Although zombies, I must say, are one of the few things that can actually creep me out. Oh, thanks so much, Regina. Greatly appreciate that. Slenderman, and the reviews I'm seeing, it doesn't sound good, and I didn't really think much of the trailer. Then again, it's probably not really aimed at me. I suspect it's aimed at like a teen audience more. April Tally, do you have any good recommendations that are on Netflix? Currently, I recommend Annihilation and Cargo. Those were the last two I watched on Netflix, film-wise, that were excellent. As far as TV shows go, I highly recommend The Good Place. I keep trying to get my sister to watch it, because she's got Netflix around at her house right now. So I keep saying, watch The Good Place, it's great. Elaine, I managed to catch the Hellfreezer live. Well, it's very rare. This is only the second time I've done this. Valley for Netflix, I'd suggest Dark. It's German, but they've got English subs. Yeah, I usually prefer, when I'm watching foreign films or TV shows, I much prefer to have it with the original language with subtitles. It's like there's a Russian version of Sherlock Holmes, which was actually really good, and I preferred watching that with subtitles. Mad Honeybee, you I can't guarantee you'll enjoy it, but if your taste is anything like mine, you'll love it. You might find yourself marathoning 2 seasons quite quickly. Yeah, I think with when it comes to watching movies and things, you lose half the performance if it's dubbed. You're getting somebody else's interpretation of how the original actor did it. I'd rather see the original performance. I mean, even if I can't understand what they're saying, I can at least understand the emotion. Yeah, the thing about Rob Zombie is I'm not really a fan of his work, but I do really appreciate that he genuinely loves what he's doing. You could tell he genuinely loves horror. He genuinely loves making movies. And when you're as dedicated to it as he is, you're only going to improve over time. So I'm sure one day he'll do something I'll think, well, let's check that out and I might enjoy it. But so far not yet. What was I doing there? I was going to colour my own eyes. My actual baby blues. Hi Eli, how are you doing? Paulina Sabina, by the way, is what you speak sort of the standard Scottish accent? I used to be afraid. I used to be afraid of it because I thought it was too different from the English accent. I'm not sure what to say to that. uh, well, when people hear a Scottish accent, I think they imagine something a bit thicker than what I use, and that is perhaps a bit more common. The way I talk, especially when I'm in a situation like this, I perhaps over enunciate more when I'm talking to you guys. Enunciate more just to make sure that my diction's good, to make sure that I can be clearly heard. If you were talking to me one on one, I might be a little bit more casual. But no, I don't think the way I speak is exactly the standard, although it's not far off it. But like with any country, there are versions of our accent that are there's versions of our accent that are so thick, right? You know what I'm saying? You hear me now, that aye, right? So thick that you just couldn't understand it. So you know what I mean? That would be the Scottish equivalent of someone from the deep south. Christian Burrows, love you, bro. I also have feelings for you, Christian. Yeah, even some Scottish people have a hard time placing where I'm from. I mean, they think I'm Scottish, they just don't think I'm from the town I actually live in. Valley au Mon Dieu. Ah, it's pure Dead brilliant and all that, you know? Those eyes are a bit too blue. I look like a demon child. No comments, please. Right, I think I'm going to save this. I'll finish it later. Save as. Yes, yes, well done. Where are you closer to Glasgow? Yeah, somewhere in between Glasgow and Edinburgh. Right, that's about 2 hours now, so I think I'm probably going to wrap it up there. It's just a little after midnight here, so going to get a bath, get something to eat, and probably go to bed early, I think. Okay, so with that, I'm going to head off for now, folks. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourselves.